Yeah, shirt cocking is a Burning Man trend of where guys just wear t-shirts, sometimes long t-shirts or whatever, and just nothing else.
Nice.
There's dicks hanging low. It's a shirt cocking. Yeah, very
Mhm.
very common thing at Burning Man. So, A Deal with the Devil is the first one we're going to cover. It was written by Eric Lewald and aired September 14th, 1996. The number one movie was Maximum Risk. This is a Jean-Claude Van Damme
Of
movie.
course it was.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, who cares? A movie that disappeared immediately. Um, the number one song was Los Mars Macarena, which I'm pretty sure I found out recently is about a woman talking about a threesome with two of her boyfriend's best friends.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that goes hard. Like that's
Just a perfect song to dance to at weddings for like
Yes.
the next 10 years,
Absolutely. 10.
at least.
and for children to be dancing to at parties and everything.
Hmm.
Like ironically, Who Let the Dogs Out is a much more wholesome song because that is a song that is complaining about horny dudes ruining parties.
Which
Hmm.
still to this day gets played at like children's dances.
Yeah.
Yeah, music that's popular with kids is weird, man. It's almost as if the simplicity itself is the thing.
I always thought Who Let the Dogs Out was about letting a bunch of ugly women out the house.
Yeah, me too.
Mm.
So
Honestly, as a child, that's what I thought it was. Who let ugly women into the party?
I just thought it was
But
about like letting a bunch of dogs out and being like, oh, dang it. Then we got to go find them.
three different branches of autism.
Hmm.
okay, the second episode we're going to cover is Xavier Remembers, written by Stephanie Mathison. It aired April 27, 1996, so like months before. We're at this point where the episodes are just coming out all ramrod,
Mm-hmm.
rack shot, rim shot.
Ramshackle.
Rambo.
Right
On
on.
Fox's whim, and pretty much just when the episode is finished being made. Uh so this one came out much earlier, even though it's set after that. The number one movie was The Quest, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Dun dun
Dun dun
dun.
dun.
So I guess those are the last two number one Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Ever.
Yeah, they must have been right after that. He was pretty much straight to video.
And the number one song is Celine Dion, Because You Loved Me, because I don't think you were going to say that.
I was gonna say it,
I don't think you
but
were.
before I was gonna mention that the number two movie also debuting was romantic comedy The Truth About Cats and Dogs,
You just
starring
hate
Janeane
Celine Dion.
Garofalo.
You hate Celine Dion.
No,
It's
there's an
been
order to
it's
things.
been very much noted that you hate Celine Dion.
How could you hate Celine Dion?
I'm not a big fan.
I mean, you don't have to like her music, but seems a
Yeah, I
decent
think she's
person.
fine. I think it's a little weird that she married the like her manager that met her when she was 15 years
I
old or
don't
so.
think
Yes,
that was
blame the
a
victim.
choice.
Let's blame the victim in that one.
She got married when she was 17.
Did she get married when she was
Oh
17?
yeah, she was a whole minor.
Hmm.
Stayed with him till he
A
died.
minor.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I just the whole thing just makes me feel icky. I guess is more.
yeah.
It's not about her. It's just that she reminds me of the fact that society sees that shit happening and just says, "Yeah, this is fine."
Remember when P Diddy married Aaliyah when she was 16?
Was it Diddy?
What?
I thought it was like DMX or something.
Nope, Diddy.
It's Diddy. It's worse.
That's weird.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
And like Brandy's first child she
wait,
had
when
when she was 15 with her
and didn't
manager.
Aaliyah die when she was like 19,
Mhm.
20?
Yep.
How long
Uh,
after she left Diddy was that?
About 6 months.
well, there you have
Not
it.
gonna say anything. Let's just gonna
Allegedly,
move right
allegedly.
the fuck on from that disturbing shit.
Before we move on, though, there was a really funny biopic of Celine Dion. I think it was just called Celine.
Yep.
Came out in about 2005-ish, and it was rated G. So it was one of those ones I used to put on in the video store. And I had a very funny colleague, and he would like explicitly ask to put it on every day and then like laugh out loud at the scene where she gets hit by a car as a child.
It honestly, okay, the way that it
It
is
was great.
framed, that is a funny scene.
Yeah.
It is genuinely like watching a slapstick comedy.
John Waters level, but
Exactly.
unintentionally. Like,
Like
yeah.
she might as well have flipped over 3 times in the air and landed on her feet.
Was that Adam D'Antonio?
No, no, it was a different Adam, actually, but
Oh,
different Rogers. Yeah.
it's a multiverse of infinite Rogerses and Adams working in the
Hmm.
Rogers. Courage. It was written by Michael Edens, like the
The guy.
people will remember that Michael and his brother Mark have written the bulk of the like canon episodes, so that's a sign that this is an important canon episode.
And a
But
good day to you, sir.
yeah,
Bulk of the series,
yeah,
branded. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Anyway, go
Spent
on.
the last couple years of his life in an iron lung.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the number one movie this week. It came out September 23rd, 1995. So even further back in time, even though it's meant to be even further forward.
Mhm.
And I
Uh,
noticed in the credits for that one, it was an Acon and it was from 94 when they actually made it.
oh yeah, they probably did the work of that in '94. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's why it
So
looks so dang good.
totally, yeah. I think all three of these episodes were ACOM, so they all
Hmm.
looked pretty good. We'll get into that more. The number one movie was the debut of Seven. So
Hell yeah.
total banger classic, one of the great crime.
Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, yeah,
That's whose head's in the box. Jean Claude's.
that would be such a good.
It's just
Just like
Jean-Claude in the
just
box doing splits
remake
somehow.
seven. The movie is exactly the same, except Gwyneth Paltrow is played by Jean Claude Van
I would like to see it.
Damme.
Also debuting in number two that weekend was our favorite movie, Showgirls, the great misunderstood Paul Verhoeven classic.
Every single part of that movie is great until they get in the pool.
See, that's why I said like, oh, we don't need to talk about Showgirls now last week because
Mhm.
we get to talk about Showgirls coming out and actually like popping, having a big opening. It makes almost as much money as Seven does in the first week, but
Oh
then
yeah,
drops off.
it drops off entirely because people actually watch the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I think the
And
waterfall sex scene is enough to just drive away most audiences.
I'm not gonna lie.
But it's a great movie, man. Versace.
Fun
Wasn't
fact:
that? Oh, go ahead.
I saw Showgirls for the first time on cable. So I saw the infamous VH1 cut
So it's
where
45
they
minutes long.
no, the movie is still VH1 edited bras and panties on everybody, so there's almost no nudity. But recall that it's 1995 and that technology has not come into play yet. It's
So is it just like hovering in one place?
hovering, and like sometimes Gina Gershon will move and her shirt will stay. And it's just like it's a fucking mess. But like
Huh.
it's one of those things that if you can find a copy of the VH1 cut, watch it because it's entertaining as it is.
I was wondering, wasn't that like one of the first NC-17 movies to really be
I think
successful?
it was like the biggest, widest release of an N17 movie.
And the
Hmm.
last.
There you go.
That too. Yeah.
They're like, hey, these women had way too much fun making this. We can't have this.
Hmm.
Yeah. Poor Elizabeth Berkley. Her career died on that pyre, but man, she was
It's
she was
nice.
good. She did the job right. I
She
think.
did the job exactly as stated.
Like it's not her fault that the makeup was over applied to make her look like she had bigger lips. That's just like that was a character
That was
thing.
drag. She was
She was
doing
being
drag.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's not her fault that she was directed to act badly. Paul Verhoeven just did that.
Yeah.
And we all saw Starship Troopers. He figured out what he was doing getting people to act badly on purpose in Starship Troopers,
Mhm.
which we all now understand is a masterpiece.
Hmm.
RoboCop masterpiece, right? Like,
Hmm.
And Showgirls, the first masterpiece.
I mean, RoboCop
All
comes
master
first,
pie.
and Total Recall had also happened at this point.
3 titties.
Hmm.
Unsurprising that the Three Titties guy went on to make Showgirls, right? Like when I realized that, it was like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Complete sense.
Yeah, Dutch
Way more
film.
than 3 titties in Showgirls.
No, but I mean, there was at least 3.
I think there's like at
Overall.
least 3 titties in every scene in Showgirls.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Gina Gershon's always got one just hanging out for some
Yeah, there's
reason.
lots of side boob.
No one.
Gina
No one says
Gershon as the
anything.
Amazon. She had one cut off.
A deal with the devil. In Russia, American scientists have dug up Omega Red out of the frozen state he was put back into in Red Dawn. Um, we'll notice a theme of these episodes that we're discussing this week is season 2 subplots coming back and being dealt with.
I don't remember this part in Red Dawn.
Oh, really? It's like shortly after Patrick Swayze died.
So I was like, if you're about to explain the episode to me, I'm gonna scream.
No, I don't know if you actually listened to that episode, but I totally did a like an elongated Red Dawn bit that may or may not have died on the Vine because that episode is very low rated. It's like, yeah, the least views.
It was indeed a Red Dawn.
Bye, Sleepy.
Loud.
My cat named Sleepy is very loud. I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, so he's restrained, and all of these American generals are talking to him through giant video panels,
Mhm.
like amazing live video technology that existed in 1995. So these Americans want Omega Red's help in retrieving a sunken, unstable Russian nuclear sub that is near the coast of Hawaii. This part actually happened.
Uh-huh.
A Russian nuclear sub did sink off the coast of Hawaii, and Americans did retrieve it.
And Wolverine was there.
Sure. So in return, Omega Red will be turned into a human again by American equipment. They promise him his humanity back. Omega Red agrees that he makes one demand, that Wolverine and Storm go along with him in the sub because they're the ones who fucked with him in Red Dawn. Like, not Colossus. He doesn't give a shit about Colossus, the guy that was his main enemy in that one.
Mhm.
Doesn't give a shit about
Held him
anyone.
down while he got frozen by Storm.
Yeah. Doesn't give a shit about Darkstar, the Russian mutant that literally betrayed him. No, he just wants Wolverine Storm. Was Storm even in that episode?
No.
Was she?
She froze Omega Red in the ground, like when
In the
they were fighting.
in the Red Dawn episode? Do we remember that?
The last time they fought Omega Red, I'm pretty sure that was.
Yeah, she went to. Oh yeah, the whole X-Men team went to Russia. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think she wasn't like there until the very end when the whole team showed up. I don't know.
Always Sunny and Fond. The gang goes to Russia.
Yeah. The two X-Men are summoned and agree to participate on the mission.
Good for them.
Yeah. So that's the deal with the devil is that the X-Men, I have to go along with it. Any thoughts, Ben?
Good premise, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out, I think.
Yeah, like I feel like both of the Omega Red episodes would play really, really well as 1 hour long live action if there was an X-Men show or another superhero show. They would be plots that would really work well with 1 hour to play with because you can introduce more subplots and have the payoff, but they're not big enough to feel like whole movies. But if like in 20 years we're in an era where like X-Men is on Netflix and it looks great because
Similar jobs.
AI is helping the CGI be really really good. That's how it like that's how AI can be helpful is it can just like do a lot of the busy work so that the CGI can actually be more frequent and bigger and better. Like and have the same amount of people employed.
Okay.
That's been one solution that is possible.
And yet we just use it to make photos.
We just use it to replace artists themselves, which is terrible because it's just free capitalism where the easiest version of any idea is the one that is exploited for money.
Gatekeeping the creative output.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like right wing kind of fascist types would be into it because they're not very creative. So like this
Mhm.
thing just makes it for them. You
That's
know, like
exactly it.
Totally.
It gives everybody the baseline of creativity that they want without actually having to use their brains.
Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah. Like there's definitely very creative, successful people that are unfortunately caught up in the AI relationship stuff. But a lot of the people using it are just creatively bankrupt and want to make stuff that looks that good without putting the time in. And when they argue on their behalf, it just is obvious that that's what they want.
They're blowing the bubble.
like that video where that guy just like is at like a fake movie set and he's just like standing next to a bunch of celebrities and like smiling for a photo with them, and it just keeps panning to the next one and the next one, the next one. And it's like, how much compute and resources did that cost just to make this guy feel like he met a bunch of celebrities and like post something epic? You know, like it's like there's no narrative, there's no purpose for it. It's just like,
Yeah, a village
oh,
in remote Mexico didn't have water for the day, and that happened.
yeah, maybe.
But don't worry, those pictures were probably super cool.
They were pretty cool. Like,
But obviously
I don't know,
fake.
Brad Pitt dressed as like Gohan or whatever the hell. Remember that? Yeah.
I was not a Dragon Ball person, sorry. I mean, I watched the original Dragon Ball, like not before Dragon Ball Z when Goku was a little kid.
Sorry,
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
To be
I
clear, it
actually
was a fake movie set of Dragon Ball, the movie that doesn't exist. And it was like all these different celebrities just
Dragon
coming forward in their
Balls.
character makeup to do a little selfie with this guy that
Oh,
was like on
cool.
set. Like,
Ugh. At least they shut down that Sora bullshit.
I
yeah.
don't think it's shut down so much as it failed.
Well, yeah, Disney, the most litigious company in the world, signed a $1 billion deal with them to let their fucking characters go on Sora, and then it failed.
I watched the funniest video on, I guess it was X the other day on Twitter. And it was just like somebody had taken those Disney characters and done one of those like fruity, like the fruit island thing where it's like two different fruits have sex and have a baby and it's like betraying the couple. Like,
Oh
have you guys
yes,
not
I've
seen
seen
this
that
shit?
too.
Yeah. It's just garbage. But they did
Yeah.
it with Disney characters. So it was like Mickey and Minnie like sleeping with Goofy and then feeling bad about it and then getting pregnant and then Mickey being so excited that she's pregnant. And then at the day of the birth, it's a little dog and he's like so sad. And it's just like amazing to see them using the Disney characters in that way. And it's like that's where it's going to end. Like that's going to be the last time they ever do anything like that. You know, like it was just amazing to see that brief glimpse of like slop, but like made with this really valuable IP, you know, like really well done, terrible slop.
Just a side note, you don't have to call it X. This is one of the only times where you can misgender a website because the owner misgenders his
It's actually
children.
more woke to misgender X.
Yeah. If he's allowed to misgender his daughter, I'm allowed to misgender his midlife crisis website that he bought.
Shout out Vivian Musk. You're a real one.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, back to this cartoon.
Sure.
Um, on the way to the submarine, Wolverine and Omega manage to keep their cool and not break into a fight. They're protected from the ocean pressure and radiation by special underwater suits.
Don't worry about it.
Big deal. The confined spaces of the underwater vessel aggravate Storm's claustrophobia, but she holds her shit together. Once aboard the sunken nuclear sub, Omega turns on the X-Men and plans to fire the nuclear missiles at various cities throughout the world. He wants to trigger World War III and then emerge to rule the ruins of the Earth when he feels the time is right.
And how did no one see that coming?
So, very obvious.
It like really, Storm and Wolverine, really, you should have seen that one coming. You've been doing this for a while now.
I mean, I think Wolverine does, and what
Yeah.
this episode exposes is that he is stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that creates tension here that the X-Men cannot even fight him as the sub is so toxic, and even a small tear in their suits would leak in radiation and kill them. Like Wolverine has his healing factor, so he would ultimately survive, but Storm would die.
Oh yeah.
So the stakes are actually pretty legit. Like, oh, this is one person at risk. Really, there is world stakes, but the one person's threat is a real deal. And Wolverine immediately fucks this up by just popping his claws like a moron and going into fight, but then immediately the radiation hits him super fucking hard and he like
Coming back
liquefies his
to,
guts. It's so
he
funny.
is not a smart person.
Probably didn't track how stupid that was as a kid, but it's really fucking dumb and great. So, so Storm is just immediately very in a weakened situation. Omega Red captures both mutants. I think Storm does use her wind powers a little bit, but like in a submarine, there wouldn't really be enough atmosphere for her to control without like she could probably control the water outside a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe with concentration, but she's got to deal with the atmosphere inside.
In fact, they are in an atmospheric chamber, which means that she doesn't have access to any of that.
Yeah, and she can probably sense that like there's if she does too much, then the pressure of the whole place goes and they all die. So she's really in a terrifying situation
Because
for her.
Storm isn't stupid.
Yeah, like the bones of this are really good, I think. It's just like not enough time to execute it. It needs to be a full hour story.
Yeah.
Like could even make it the plot of a film, but it would have to be a tighter, shorter one. Because
Or you'd have
if
to
you
add
include
a
the
lot of
whole
shit.
X-Men in this story, then it's over in a minute, right?
Exactly.
This is another one that really, like a lot of the 4 season episodes benefit from having a smaller cast to focus on. And this one, it's like, okay, yeah, 2 people were sent.
Yeah.
Beast and Rogue are sent along as backup in the Blackbird, and that's like, okay, there's our 4 people that we have in the episode. It's a good crew. Beast and Rogue are in the Blackbird, and they're dropping depth charges that prevent the sub from being able to rise to release missiles. And then Omega Red informs the X-Men that he can arm the missiles before they even reach the targets, so they would be live targets. So it creates another level of danger that's pretty big. You hit these missiles, and they could create a nuclear bomb that would kill anything close enough to hit them.
The mutants have nuclear technology.
Yep. And then Omega launches the missiles successfully, but Beast just lasers them with the Blackbird, and they turn out to not be armed with that. So
super easy, barely an inconvenience.
exactly. That's a thing that, like, okay, if in an hour-long version of this story, you can really play that out and have to bring in some other mutants to take out the live nuclear warheads. And there's a lot going on here that could be really good. I think this is an adaptation of like around X-Men 12, 13 for the 14, like a year or so after the new X-Men launch. This is the comic story that I think was happening around the time that the show launched, like the Omega Red returning and being an even bigger threat, but maybe not the nuclear sub part, which feels a lot to me like the Mission Impossible 6 sub stuff.
Yeah, it feels like the Mission Impossible 6 stuff, but also like at this point, we're still at the end of a Red Scare period where people are still afraid of communists.
Yeah.
And so that like that's what I got a lot of this. Is a lot of it's like the end of Red Scare propaganda where
Americans
it's like,
trying to control former communists and finding that, oh no, you can't actually control them. They have their own ideas and they're going to try and control things themselves.
exactly.
So it works as a metaphor, I think,
absolutely
pretty well.
does.
Does Omega use like what are his tentacles made out of? Like why can't they fight him? Is he also adamantium or something?
They're adamantium tentacles.
Oh yeah. That makes
Whenever
sense,
you
then.
see something like that, it means a wizard did it, or it was made of adamantium.
Adamantium is basically a wizard did it the metal. Vibranium too. I mean, vibranium comes from a comet. Adamantium was never explained in the cartoons or comics, I think, but it has now been explained in the movies as that's what the bodies of Celestials are made of.
Right.
So it's like alien being metal. So it's organic. I don't know. Captain America 4 is bullshit.
Are made of metal.
You must return Godzilla's bones to the sea. That's what you were doing, right? Yeah. So there's 2 Godzilla movies from like 2003 and 2004. I think they're Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, and then Tokyo SOS, the sequel, in which like they do a new take on Mechagodzilla where they actually make Mechagodzilla by using the bones of the original Godzilla that was killed in the first movie to fight the newer Godzilla, the younger one. So like this robot, they build a robot that people can pilot out of Godzilla's bones, and the Mothra twins come and they explain all the lore dumps to all the characters, and they just keep saying, "You must return Godzilla's bones to the sea." so
Sometimes
funny.
when I'm really high, I hear that in my head.
Yeah, it was rent free up there. It's so funny. The first movie I think is even pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. It's not a sequel to the original.
No.
It's just called that.
I was just gonna say, you
It's
Like
a Totoo
TOO,
continuity.
like also.
Yeah.
yeah, TOO.
Like Japan's Godzilla continuity was like originally there was this one long continuity of like 13, 14 movies. And then they started over again in the 80s and did another one of like 8 or 9. And in every time they do a Godzilla continuity, the very first Godzilla is the first movie. And then the whatever new started the series is the sequel, the first sequel that's ever happened. So they just keep creating new timelines as the sequel. So like Godzilla 2000 then was another, it was a Godzilla 2. And then the year later, they made Godzilla versus Megaguirus. And that is Godzilla 2 of that universe, but they gave up on it immediately. And then they do Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, and they do one more in that universe, and then boom, they just keep starting over and starting over. And every single one until Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One, those are the first two that are actually remakes of Godzilla. Everything else has been like creating an alternative sequel timeline.
I know that nerdy movie theater kid was so excited when we pointed that out. When the kid with the Shin Godzilla on his name tag.
Oh yeah. There was a kid at the movie theater last night whose favorite movie was Shin Godzilla,
and I
he
know
was very stoked.
I know for a fact when I worked at Cineplex, I would put movies on there that would make people talk to me about them. I would put like the weirdest movies I could think of because I want to get the weird, like the weirdos commenting.
So John Waters shit.
100%.
A Serbian movie.
I put Pink Flamingos as my first movie on there, and I had this old gay man be like, "The kids are all right."
And that gay man's name, John Waters.
Who is going to be on the new season of American Horror Story. I know this season's going to be just terrible because it's Ryan Murphy and he's incapable of making a good season of television from start to finish.
Yeah, like
it's illegal.
You'd have to have like Mike Flanagan do a season of American Horror Story for it to be good.
100%. However, if I get to see John Waters and Jessica Lange, I'm cool. I'm cool. I love old gay people. Jessica Lange is not gay, but spiritually she is.
Yeah, she's like adjacent. I can
Yeah.
see that. In the same way that if I see like a lineup that's like Charlie XCX and Ice Spice and, Kelly Clarkson, I'm like, that's for gay people.
I was just gonna
That's
say
3 straight people for the gays.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Totally. And that's great. Okay. So we're at the bombs just magically diffusing themselves. Omega threatens to launch another set, and he uses his tentacles to like grab Storm and hold her up, and she's all in peril and everything. And then Rogue just flies down and just pulls a panel off of the sub, and that's enough to depressurize and knock it off. And I like how that's like all she had to do. It feels a little anticlimactic, but it actually makes perfect sense that like even better than punching the sub, actually fucking with it by tearing apart the hull. Like it's pretty smart. And I love how Rogue and Storm are just the most powerful, and the writers never forget that. And I think that like lesser writers make it so that Wolverine is always the person who's got to solve the issue, when really Rogue and Storm are the heavy hitters, and it's totally fine that Wolverine is just off in the corner with his guts turning into liquid over and over again.
Ah, my guts.
Give me a beer. So,
cigar while it's
yeah,
happening.
everyone gets thrown off their feet, and Omega Red becomes obsessed with getting control of the ship back. So Storm uses the opportunity to pull Wolverine to an escape pod, and they fly up to the surface way too fast. And they clearly have the bends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they're saved on the surface by Rogue. And
Okay,
Beast.
now here's a good question. Can Wolverine get the bends? Is that something that his body would just naturally expel, or would he deal with the effects?
I think he'd get it and just
immediately
recover
be
from
done
it
with
fine.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, because Wolverine's healing factor doesn't prevent him from feeling any pain.
Oh yeah, he's clearly felt pain.
Like he's died many times. He's felt all of that pain.
Yeah.
Because his pain receptors grow back.
Yeah, we can hear Hugh Jackman bellowing. He's felt pain.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he's the most compelling character,
Mhm.
I think, because he does have a believable level of superhero invulnerability. Because most superheroes survive so many things. I remember in the Batman, all this press was put into how it was going to be a believable guy that is only going to go through believable things, and then he's pinballing around between like an overpass and a bus, and like a fully CGI rubberized cartoon character for
Yeah,
a movie.
Robert Pattinson's really known for realism in these
Hey man, I'm not
days.
going to slag Robert Pattinson here.
Not either,
I
but
just don't think the
he
Batman
is an
was
insane
the credible Scorsese Batman that it was presented as.
he's an insane person who cannot be serious.
For shizzle. So
Evidenced by the fact that he refers to Zendaya as Zendaya Coleman Domingo in their press
I love
tour.
that. That was so funny. Um, So anyway, yeah, the X-Men go back to the mansion, and Wolverine is still bitter. And Beast explains that he's bitter because he knows that Omega Red is still out there, because like Omega Red has tried to steer the sub and it just wound up sinking even further. So he's probably like crushed down by some pressure and can't even move. But he still has a nuclear stockpile. He's still evil as hell. And Wolverine knows that he couldn't do shit all to help. He really fucked up in that situation. And if he wasn't just so eager to fight, he would have maybe been able to prevent Omega Red. So I'm not sure if that was intentional on their part,
Women in STEM.
but I do like it. What?
Women in STEM. Women should be leading the charge because clearly Rogue and Storm are the only people who actually know what they're doing.
Yes, I think Wolverine is being a dumb old man and being like, "Oh, the situation would have been better if I was like not so stupid,"
Hmm.
and he is. I think that's the vibe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was fully intentionally there,
But
but that's how it comes across to me watching it today in
dun, 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 dun.
2026. So I give this episode a 6. You
Mhm.
know, like there's a lot of potential, a lot of good bones, but maybe doesn't just not quite the right format for a story for this to be happening in 20 minutes and be tied up.
I'm gonna go with a 7 because I really do like when Wolverine gets his insides liquefied, kind of knocks him down a peg, and I like that.
Mhm.
Fair?
I think any Wolverine episode deserves at least a 6, and any Omega Red episode deserves at least a 0.9.
Oh, okay. So we put it together and we're like, can we? Are you good at
7.
math? It's set. Okay, it's 7. Okay.
Yeah, that's 7.
Nice. I mean,
Dun,
Okay.
dun, dun,
And
dun.
now we'll move on to Xavier Remember.
Javier remembers.
Xavier Farm remembers.
Our my cat is having a moment where he's meowing at the other cat
I was just gonna
upstairs.
say, look at that tail.
Yeah, he's so happy because there's another cat that he can talk to down there. Hey, Linguini.
You see the tail?
Yeah, he's sitting at that vent for the warm
I
air.
love it.
No. Okay.
I'm doing
Okay.
the same thing.
Yeah. Ben, do you want to get to do you want to yeah.
I can do Xavier remembers.
Yeah.
So, in this episode, outside the mansion, black storm cloud brews up in the night sky and sends a bolt of lightning that wakes all of the X-Men up. The team step outside to investigate and find themselves facing phantoms of their greatest fears and phobias. The team gather in the hallway, and our first indicator things aren't quite right is that Cyclops is in his team uniform while everyone else is in their jammies.
I kind of assumed that he just wears that to bed.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
that's like the assumption is like, okay, here's a thing we can put in that's a little bit weird and wrong, but
Yeah.
audiences will not clue in that it's wrong.
It kind of does. Scott kind of seems like he'd sleep in his uniform just in case.
Hmm.
And like, but where's Jean? Are they like, is he wearing his uniform and are they banging? Is that the
Headbanging.
head canon?
And that lightning looks awfully familiar, I must say.
I don't know.
It's
I
not
don't
just
like
your
the
regular
black
old lightning.
storm cloud.
It's like shooting out in all directions and stuff. Something's coming. So the X-Men split up to investigate. Wolverine finds a fake Sabretooth. Jubilee fights a fake Sentinel. Storm is covered in darkness, triggering her claustrophobia. Cyclops sees a fake Mr. Sinister kidnap a fake Jean Grey. It turns out this is all Professor X's bad dream, as he's under siege from a mysterious force. The real Jean and Beast are monitoring the professor in a lab and tell the others that the professor has had a concussion, which is affecting his powers. Cyclops is not convinced by this. Lightning crashes for effect. So, yeah, like X is just lying on the bed,
He's in the
basically.
infirmary. Like, how do you
Yeah.
feel the reveal that this was a dream worked? When did you clue in that this was not really happening?
I feel like they were cutting to him a couple times during it, and I was like, this is going on in his head, maybe, but
Yeah,
probably just, yeah.
they were focusing a lot on Charles, where I was like, okay, I think this has to be something to do with his brain. Because
Hmm.
usually it's to do with Charles's brain.
Yeah, I
And
felt like they were using kind of Star Trek rules
Mhm.
of things. Like in Star Trek, if the episode starts with a shot of the spaceship, you're dealing with normal reality. But if the episode starts with a shot on a set, you're in a dream or a hologram or some form of other reality.
The
oh,
holodeck.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's smart.
Yeah. So
Um,
like I
um,
feel like it's playing by
just sorry, thinking
strong
back
rules.
on this episode for a sec, I think what I thought was that maybe somebody was using Charles's powers to project those images because I remember he did that in a different episode to the enemies. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, it
that's what I was
projects the
thinking.
brood to the government a couple
Yeah,
episodes ago.
yeah, yeah, that's right. So that's I think that's where I was at. That one.
Yeah.
Word. And I think that's kind of what happens later in the episode, but just from a different source.
Right.
So why don't we keep going?
All right. So inside Xavier's head, he is experiencing a paradise world where he and the other mutants are relaxing and at peace.
That's the first sign right there that something's
Hmm.
not right. When all of them are relaxing, there's something wrong.
And also the one he's talking to will be in color, but everybody else will be in blue in the
That
background. And
okay.
there's like
Yeah.
fog around it as if you're in a dream sequence on a TV show.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, they do lots of really cool stuff in the animation, and I think the reason that they have the budget in it to do it is because there's so many clips.
Yeah.
Like I'd say there's a good 3 to 5 minutes of this episode are clips from earlier episodes,
Hmm.
like previous Xavier flashbacks and things like that. And I'm fine with it. And I think as a kid I dismissed it as a clip episode, so I didn't think about it as much. But watching through it now, I was like, okay, no, they use that extra time and money in really cool ways.
Sorry for the clip show. Have no fears. We've got stories for years. Anyways,
A really
um,
good clip show, though.
Yeah.
Xavier is in astral form and he discovers the Shadow King is behind the psychic attack and trying to break out of the astral plane.
Aubrey Plaza.
So then back in like a flashback to Africa, Farouk leads Xavier on a journey through his memories, and we see the full story of their meeting in Africa when Aurora, Storm,
Yeah.
was a child, pickpocketing Charles for the Shadow King. Then, in a mix of new and stock footage, we see the early years of the X-Men from the original five to the team lineup. In the dreamscape, everyone turns on Xavier and begins repeating what the Shadow King is saying.
Yeah,
Shadow King, man,
This
crazy guy.
is
he's a good villain, right?
this is
Yeah.
exactly this is a very good example of the 90s forgetting that Africa is a continent. It's a
Hmm.
really, really big continent. And being in Africa, not really a
Yeah, were they I think they were actually clear in another episode that they're going to Kenya, right?
this one was very much
This
just
one was vaguer.
we are in Africa. Aurora is
Yeah, this felt
African.
like like Morocco or something.
But
Rather than, yeah.
now I've seen Legion. Farouk,
It's
that's
supposed to
Aubrey
be
Plaza,
Cairo,
right?
actually, in the original comics. It's Egypt.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Because that translates into
because
Apocalypse.
Shadow King and Apocalypse are both Egyptian, which
Yeah.
is really interesting. That two of the best X-Men villains are Egyptian. Like, why would that be? When you
Hmm.
think about that time, the 70s, 80s, Egypt was a major political enemy of Israel.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of wonder if maybe Egypt was chosen as the villains because, like, Israeli money definitely like to demonize Egyptians a lot, to the point that Egypt is not really a power anymore like it was in the middle of the century. The Suez Canal used to be a big thing, and now it seems like Egypt is kind of has to do whatever Israel wants, right? Like I think
Mhm.
Egyptians don't really help Palestinians that as much as they could.
No, they have the crossing that that
Yeah,
Israel kind of ties them up
but
on.
like we never hear stories about Egypt in the news or anything, right? It's like
No.
not a tumultuous place as far as we know.
Now Farouk, Shadow King, Aubrey Plaza from
Yeah, Aubrey
yeah,
Plaza
Legion.
and Jermaine Clement both
Yeah.
play the Shadow King in Legion, which is I don't know if you've seen that, Ben. It's a really good
Oh, it sounds cool
take
though.
on some of these. Like the Shadow King is the villain of the whole series, the 3 seasons of the show, and so they really go into it. At times, it becomes a horror
Oh yeah.
movie
It's fucking
because
creepy.
the Shadow King is so scary. Like they really, really delve into and explore all of the potentials of the Shadow King character in that show. It really like it shouldn't even be called Legion. To me, the show is
No,
about the Shadow King. Legion is less important.
100%.
Legion is Xavier's son, his illegitimate
Mm.
son, that in the comic books goes back in time and kills him by accident, which leads to the Age of Apocalypse, which is a great story and everything. But that kind of ruined him as a character. He was just killed and never referenced after that because it was too dramatic. So the TV show also does a good job of exploring
Yeah.
what would Charles Xavier's son be like, a person that had major power. I don't think he's telepathic, but he's
No.
majorly powerful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
Anyway, there's a lot of really cool sequences in here. Like we do see a bunch of the early X-Men stuff from Sanctuary and from some other earlier episodes that delve with it. But there's also some really cool shots of like earlier versions of Rogue's costume, like Gambit running around without the jacket, etc. And then all those characters kind of turn evil against Xavier. I can see these scenes in live action being like really awesome and really unsettling.
Mhm. It's a good thing he's not doing this to Wolverine because we know what happens when that starts to go down.
Yeah, just pops his claws, guts turns to shit.
Hmm. Um, so yeah, battling his old nemesis in their astral forms, Xavier realizes he's trapped in the astral plane. Duh. And Shadow King plans to inhabit Xavier's body and free himself. Alerted by Xavier, Jean tells the team that Xavier's in a mental battle, which, I mean, who isn't? Shadow King manages to take possession of Xavier's body and continues to subject the team to their darkest fears, echoing the nightmares we saw in Charles' head with the real world phantoms.
So now Shadow King is doing what you were assuming before, which is actually
Hmm.
projecting the things that we saw were in Charles's dream. Now they are really attacking those characters.
Hmm.
And I think like as a kid, I probably didn't realize that was like that's the first time those characters are seeing it. So they interact with those fears again. This is another episode that I think would really work well in live action. This could even be like expanded and work as a movie
absolutely.
because you could go through different histories of the X-Men characters and everything.
Take
It's
stock
kind
footage
of in
from
the
both
mouth of
eras.
madness
Like,
adjacent.
What?
In the mouth of madness adjacent.
Yeah, like I think this would be like a really cool movie type story to follow up the Phoenix saga. Like how do you follow up that story when you do it? Do that and have Xavier like revisit his regrets. So you could have whatever characters playing Jean have one last hurrah revisiting some scenes, etc.
Hmm.
Um, because I think they're probably gonna just kill Jean and leave her dead this time. We know that Sadie Sink has been signed to a 5 movie contract, which makes it sound like okay, they have a very concrete idea of what those 5 movies are gonna be.
I mean, they don't all they'll sometimes they'll sign people and have absolutely no apparently Kumail Nanjiani originally had a 4 picture deal.
Yep.
Hmm.
Never again.
I mean, he still has that 4 picture deal that can
Yeah.
option at some point. But like what when they had when they knew that they were just going to be using Sam Jackson in perpetuity, they had him signed for 9 films,
Yeah.
right?
Same with Gwyneth
So
Paltrow.
yeah, like
Yeah.
if they and that's why she doesn't even know
She has
which.
no idea which movie she's in at any given point.
Yeah, it's just like she shows up for work and does something, and it doesn't matter, and that's fine. And she does the job well enough, I guess. She's.
Her and,
I forget that it's Gwyneth Paltrow, and I think, oh, Pepper Potts is here.
her and Tom Holland are like the opposite spectrums where Tom Holland knows exactly what's going on and will tell anybody about it, and Gwyneth Paltrow has absolutely no idea what's going on and cannot tell anybody about it.
Fair.
So then Jean projects her astral form into Xavier's head to help defeat Shadow King. Xavier manages to defeat the villain in psychic combat, and Jean helps to seal the Shadow King back into the astral plane. Pretty
Yeah,
spooky
cool.
guy.
Yeah, cool sequence. Like they all look pretty dope in their like astral form battle things. And the Shadow King tries to pull Jean into the astral world with him, but Xavier like turns around and actually does something himself for once and saves her. Because really Jean just goes in and saves the day. It's really good to see her finally in action doing something, even though she's still back at the mansion. This is
Mhm.
the first time really doing anything since the Phoenix Saga. And then she comes in and saves his ass, and then he gets to save her, which gives him some agency because for the most part he's just been taken for a ride this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But an interesting ride. I'm
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm into it. I think I would give this episode like an 8.
Mm-hmm. I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
Eight's fair.
Yeah, I think like solid eight. Yeah.
And Gangster's Paradise is the I love that Gangster's Paradise is
It's the number one
the
song
number
when
one
it comes
song.
up. Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right, so moving on to Courage. At the
Muir.
Muir Island Research Center, Moira McTaggart is giving Morph a once-over before he can join the X-Men again, having received therapy from coming back from the dead and being a mind-controlled henchman of Mistress Sinister. Morph assures Moira that he is fine. No. Elsewhere, at a manufacturing plant, a group of Sentinels attack and steal a newly developed, highly durable polymer. At the X Mansion, the X-Men welcome back Morph, but before they can celebrate, they are alerted of the Sentinels' attack. They set off, Morph included.
So there's like a surprise party thing that Xavier tries to throw, and they all are all stressed out, and then they see, oh, it's their homie.
Yep. Sensing the Sentinels, Wolverine suggests that they retreat as he is worried that if Morph sees the giant robots who almost killed him, it might trigger his post-traumatic stress disorder. Morph figures it out anyways after spotting a Sentinel footprint and is upset that Wolverine feels the need to treat him delicately.
I thought it was
Well,
so funny here how they had to like sneak into this base, and obviously Morph can like morph, but like as soon as they're through the gates, it's like they're both wearing bright yellow costumes, like especially Wolverine. It's like, bro, you
Morph can
could
be
put on
whatever
like
he
a
wants.
black coat or something. Like,
Morph does not need to be wearing that.
Morph can
right,
morph into Wolverine's outfit.
right.
You, you could just wear him.
Yeah.
Inside the Sentinel's underground base, Master Mold, who is now reduced to just his head, states how he will use the polymer his Sentinel stole to create himself a new body. Master Mold orders the Sentinels to capture Professor X, Henry Peter Gyrick,
Yep.
and Bolivar Trask. The professor, who is with the X-Men, is captured by the Sentinels as Morph was frozen in fear.
Yeah, Gyrick's like the main government villain of the X-Men in
Gyrick.
the comics and the cartoons.
Mhm.
The movies just killed him off immediately and off screen by having Mystique be disguised as him.
Oh,
Kidnaps Senator Kelly, and they turn him into goo.
big ball of goo.
Yeah. So he's just already dead before we ever meet him. And I think that that will be like the new MCU will very likely include Gyrick as the
Bolivar Trask. That's Peter Dinklage.
or Bill Duke, depending on
Right.
yeah. So if you want, he could be a 3'7" little white guy or a 6'7" giant black guy. Yeah, it makes sense.
This
Time
The
travel,
true
like
Morph,
you just
Oliver
as you
Trask.
get older, you get taller and blacker.
this is the craziest
That's his
reboot of
mutant
Benjamin
power.
Button that I have ever seen in my life. All right.
No, it's you.
Yeah, I know. I'm done.
Oh,
The rest of the team learn where the Sentinels are headed next as they go after Gyrick and Trask. The team, minus Morph, sets out to catch up to them, with Morph disappointed but understanding of being left behind. Elsewhere in a jungle, Gyrick and Trask, who have gone into hiding, are attacked by the Sentinels, and despite the intervention of the X-Men, they too are captured. Morph, desperate to be of use and make up for freezing earlier, decides to do some hacking into the Sentinels database, overloading it, and finds out the location of the Sentinels base. Determined to prove himself, he flies off to the location on his own rather than call the team.
you've done a good job with the grammar errors until now. So Props, like only one trip up. That's good.
Yeah.
This is written very badly, and they're improvising very well.
At the underground base, Master Mold explains how he wants Gyrick and Trask to build him his new body, and he wants to take Xavier's telepathic powers from him. Gimme. Before any of that can happen, the X-Men arrive and fight the Sentinels. The fight goes badly until Morph arrives, and he uses his shape-shifting powers to fight the robotic
I
villains.
really like this part. He turns into Omega Red
Yeah.
and kicks ass a little bit, and then he turns into, I think, Sasquatch from
Yeah.
Alpha Flight.
Big fan.
He kicks ass a bit. Like he's turning into people and having their like attributes, like Longshot. He
North
turns
Star, Logshot, yeah.
as his agility, and I
Yeah.
wonder, it's like, is it psychosomatic, or when he transforms into these people, does he actually have their actual real gifts and abilities? It's I
It
don't think
seems
he's
like he
necessarily.
actually has their powers, which
Yeah.
maybe makes him like the most powerful mutant on the
If he
X-Men.
if so,
Yeah.
it would be right. Like he can just
Yeah.
turn into Storm and be boom, Weather
Mm.
Wizard.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Hi, my name's Jean Grey, but I'm also Morph. Um,
Hey, Wolverine, I've got an idea. I think this will work for everybody.
this is Wolverine.
Wait till we get to X-Men 97, buddy. That's all I will say.
Oh yeah, that's right. Master Mold manages to gain the upper hand and is about to kill Morph before Morph shoots a stalactite directly above him, causing it to spear directly through Master Mold, destroying him completely. Trask manages to set off an explosion and blows up the base with the Sentinels in it, and the X-Men, Trask, Gyrick, and Morph manage to escape. Morph decides that he isn't actually ready to rejoin the team yet, and he sets out on his own. Bye!
Yeah. I was kind of
Morph.
sad as a kid that he didn't rejoin the team here, but like it makes sense. I feel like he's written pretty well psychologically. Like he's traumatized.
Absolutely.
He has a real ability to help. He does get the victory.
Yeah.
Like Master Mold has been beaten in the past by a plug, a plane being rammed into him, and now a giant rock being dropped off him.
Amazing.
I love how just like blunt force is always what kills Master Mold.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So how do we feel about numbers, fellas?
I'm gonna go with an 8.5 on this one. I think it was a nice wrap up. I enjoyed it. I liked the emotional break of Morph leaving. I like that. I like that he was like, I'm not really ready yet. I like that.
Yeah, it was good. I think I give it like an 8. Um, there's like a lot of talking, and I feel like there maybe could have been more visual ways to get through the story, but I also only watched this one once this time because we're recording a little quicker right now. So yeah, I really enjoyed it though. It's really nice to have this wrap up, and I think that's the last we're gonna hear of any of these guys till the end of the show, X-Men 97 era.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this good wrap up to this arc, which really started in episode 1.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. What about you, Ben?
Yeah, really good episode. I liked how it dealt with like the sort of PTSD elements. It was actually really engaging and believable. And there was some funny stuff. Like I like how Professor X just has like a little gun in his wheelchair thing, and then Morph is like, "Okay, I'm gonna use this gun to take down 2 Sentinels," and then he's mad at himself that he couldn't do it. It's like, bro, you had a pistol. Like,
Yeah,
don't worry
right.
about it. Like, it's fine.
You really
But
came
yeah,
unprepared for this fight.
but yeah, really good.
Yeah,
Emotionally
I
well
do like that moment
made.
of yeah, where he falters and Xavier gets captured. And so it's nice to have that old classic, like we got to rescue the our leader thing, which they don't lean on too much, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good when they actually do it sparingly. Some shows this is the plot of every other episode, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like that one. And that's it for this episode. And next week we'll be doing Secrets Not Long Buried. How's that for an awkward title?
Hmm.
And Nightcrawler. We're finally going to get to the debut of Nightcrawler. And then we'll follow up with Family Ties. What do you think that's about?
I think that is about Scott and Jean getting married.
Habsburgs.
Habsburgs, dude.
Holy fuck.
8-year-olds, dude.
8-year-olds, dude. Oh my god. Love that it took us 40 minutes to do half of one episode and then 30 minutes to do the other two.
Hmm.
Maybe that speaks to the quality of Deal with the Devil. I don't know.
I think Vince McMahon is the next up to get the FIFA Peace Prize. I think he's the next. He's
Actually, this is like
absolutely the
a
next
valid
one.
contender for that, honestly.
I'd gif of him. Like he's like trying not to cry really hard.
We got Secrets Not Long Buried, an episode that I never ever watched or heard of until I first watched the show through during the pandemic. It aired February 17, 1996, at a point when the episodes were coming out pretty randomly.
Hmm.
This came out during the 16-week run at number one of One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men, a song I could not just describe for the life of me.
I know Mariah Carey's part,
Remember it.
but unfortunately, my voice doesn't go that high on a good day.
Can you just do it anyway?
Do you want me to just scream?
So,
One
it was
sweet day. Ah,
I
ooh.
am surprisingly more interested in these movies.
yeah. So it was Broken Arrow's second week at number one. You'd be surprised that the number two movie coming in a couple million below it is Happy Gilmore,
Huh.
that
And
epic classic, and also Muppet Treasure Island. So like,
the preeminent and best movie about a romance between a man and a pig.
oh, so it's the best of all the Muppet movies?
100%.
Oh, cool.
100%. Well, no, no, no. Like I'm talking
Forgetting
about a
about the
human
movie
being
Pig.
being fully in love with Miss Piggy, and that's Tim Curry. And he plays it so like so dead into the camera. He's like, "Yeah, I am in love with this pig puppet."
Beautiful.
And still, he did an interview, I think like 5 years ago, where somebody was like, "Oh, like the one that got away, the love of your life." He's like, "Miss Piggy."
Fair.
Love that guy.
Love Tim Curry. He's the best. Check out our Parallax review of Rocky Horror Picture Show on the internet.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
was a good one.
Thanks. We had a buddy Dave Durkin for that. Okay, so Secrets Not Long Buried starts with Cyclops flying out on his own. For some reason, this episode is a Cyclops solo mission, which nobody really asked for. We've already had a Cyclops solo mission that they like had given up on before because it was so lame. Although in a way, I do wish that like this is the one that had happened during the Phoenix Saga. If we were only to get one of the Cyclops solo missions, I would choose this one. But still, it's pretty weak. Like he flies out to this place called Skull Mesa. It's all a riff on Bad Day at Black Rock, which is like a progressive country western movie. Sorry, what do
Okay.
they call those?
Spaghetti Western?
Westerns? Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know why I thought of the musical genre before I thought of the movie genre there. It's the morning.
It's
We're just still waking
you've
up.
been spending too much time with Jamie.
Bet. Um, So anyway, this guy Watchdog, who like isn't a character from the comics, was just invented for this show, like
Hmm.
has the power to like disable his plane and his powers. Watchdog is crazy powerful
Oh,
and
okay.
just seems to be like just chill and normal. He just does whatever the episode needs him to do.
The multi-tool.
Yeah. I have this theory about this episode that the producers literally were like, "Hey, just do a quick solo episode with only one of the cast that's way cheaper, and we will animate in all of the toys that we made that haven't been in the show because there's all these characters in the background. Like we see Random, the kind of like white skinned guy with gun hands.
Yeah.
He was also in the Magneto Sanctuary thing, and him and Toad. So like they're here, and it kind of makes sense that characters who were left in the cold after the Sanctuary incident would end up in a community like this pretty quick after them to be so ensconced in it. Maybe some time has passed, but like we get this character Bill Braddock, who is like that's not even the name of the character, the sun character dude in the comics. It's like Silas Killer or something. They've just changed a whole lot of stuff. This indigenous doctor Daryl Tanaka that he's hanging out with is also a created character. There are plenty of indigenous characters in the Marvel canon. They just like
It's not one of
it's
them.
like no, just make up new characters. This episode has to be cheap and not cost us any money.
These are all of the Spirit Halloween mutants.
Yeah, and it's like one of those like a town where everyone's holding a secret, but they're all mutants. And
Oh.
like he meets Tusk, who's like a kind of a minotaur looking guy.
Oh,
He'll come back later.
I've seen his movie. Tusk? A24?
Hmm. I was thinking it was they had that song by Fleetwood Mac that they wrote about him.
Good album.
Hmm.
Nobody ever tell them about ethical non-monogamy.
Tusk and his little dude in a like poly
If they'd
relationship.
had an arrangement, we never would have gotten all that good music.
Never would have gotten all of that fucking those bangers. They needed pure unbridled hatred.
But hey, a
Rumors.
musician that I was working with and in love with once said to me, all of this pain you're experiencing is worth it because it's making good art. And that was fucked up to hear. So, in the moment, it's
No.
not that fun.
Did they also say they had a long list of ex-lovers and
I always
had a
thought no,
blank
I think
space?
it's Starbucks lovers.
She actually sure did.
Uh, that
I was
friend's
not
name
one of the first or last to
Taylor
get there.
Swift.
Yeah. Hmm.
Can I get the link to the notes there, buddy?
Oh, I thought
What? Didn't we give you that?
I had it last week, but it's just showing me last week's notes if I go back to that link.
Motherfucker.
there's too many fucking windows right now. Close some. I gotta find the.
Yeah. There, messenger. There we go. Oh. Only if you can spell please right.
I can't.
Well,
Place. It's that song by Sabrina Carpenter.
place, of
Yeah.
course.
Place. Taste my espresso.
Ah, yes. Followed up by her great song Tears.
Hmm.
You're such a child, man.
Tears run down my face.
Anyway, we're gonna move down this. Um.
Says
So anyway, like
unrequested sent.
so like
Sorry.
Solar is the bad guy. Toad is running around doing his help. We got Chet Lambert helping him out.
I believe it's
Like,
Lambert.
oh, Lambert. Like this dude with a cowboy hat that talks like a greasy wheel,
I'm
more like a
obsessed
human
with him.
being. He's just so over the top, crazy evil. Like how is this guy in this position? How does anybody trust a person that talks like this?
Well, I
It's,
mean,
it's the most Snidely Whiplash motherfucker I've ever seen.
to be
In a show that
totally
also has
fair,
Mr. Sinister and Apocalypse.
he's standing beside a frogman. And so he doesn't need to be the most serious person in the room when the frogman is there.
Is his mutant like affliction that he has a stupid voice?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think he can go inside and out of the dirt. Like he just rose out of the dirt at one scene.
Yeah. That's weird. Kind of
Yeah.
cool powers, potentially really powerful, but I didn't even notice that he had powers at any point because he was just being menacing and
Cowboy hat?
the whole time.
Well, he gets like invisible too, right? Like
Yeah.
Wolverine tries to get him and he's just like, can't get me. I'm invisible.
Cyclops?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Because this is one of the only episodes that doesn't have Wolverine this season. He's kind of the main character overall. Like we'll see that pay off before the Beyond Good and Evil thing, which completely shelves him and focuses on Scott and Jean again. Um, but yeah, is what it is. Like he convinces the town to turn against the evil douchebag that's enslaving them to mine gold and make them force them to his will. There's this great scene where a little dude jumps out of Tusk's back, and it's like
Mhm.
seeing Quado fly out of this guy's stomach in Total
I
Recall.
was just about to say, I was like, wait, yeah, that was a total recall
It's a
throwback.
very
I bet you
Quado moment.
anything.
Yeah, it gave me big
Very
Quado
righteous
vibes.
kill.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Wait, Army. So, um, one thing that I noticed about this is that there's this character Senyaka, who's like one of the guys who's wearing the acolyte outfit in the crowd
Oh
scenes
yeah.
and a ninja mask, and he has these whips, and he's this really cool character named Senyaka, who I had the toy of because I thought he was such a cool character, and like he was from Sri Lanka, and he was just as this mysterious guy on the acolytes crew, and he just somehow wasn't in the Sanctuary story at all, even though he would have been really cool in action scenes there fighting the X-Men. But here he just shows up. Like that's how haphazard I feel this episode is. It's like, no, just here's this toy. Just draw this toy into this show.
Yeah, this was definitely a weird period.
Yeah, like this is among my least favorite episodes of the show. It's a waste that ACOM animated this one instead of the Philippine Animation Studio. I give it a 3 just because like the overall
It
Battle of Blackrock plot of it is works and the message is fine, but it's just a waste of time.
Cyclops can't lead things. He's just not capable of it.
I mean,
Not
X-Men
this
He's
97.
the
Cyclops.
leader of the X-Men.
Not this Cyclops.
I mean, you can't lead a narrative, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can clearly lead the X-Men. I don't want it.
I had a couple of funny ideas, like when Tanaka was talking about like we're not soldiers. Do we look like soldiers to you? And he's got like 28-inch biceps and like super ripped. It's like,
Genuinely,
yes,
I'm like,
you
yeah,
do look like a soldier.
you
Also, you can just
absolutely do.
heal people with your hands.
You
So
look like the comic
you would
book
be
definition of what a soldier
the
is.
perfect combat medic, right? Like, yeah.
Your
Yeah,
biceps
Tuss
are
little
as
guy.
big
That was pretty
as
great.
Jane.
And then like at the end, he's like, "Oh, they committed their crimes in Skull Mesa. We'll take care of them." And Scott's just like, "Okay." Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Mob
everything's
justice is fine.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
what a weird little
I think that's like
bleak statement at the end there.
that's the one thing that Cyclops is good for. He's like, yeah, he's like, you guys take care of this. He just sees the best in everybody. He goes, they're gonna punish them as per the Geneva Convention.
It'll
And he
be
just
totally
walks away.
fine. They'll just be put in a stockade and maybe paddled a few times by locals. It's no big
It's
deal.
fine. Totally
I
fine.
never noticed I had hazel eyes. Well, see ya.